Hi everyone. How are you all? I hope you all are doing good. Myself Deepika Devan, standing before you to teach an interesting topic. But before going to that topic, I would like to know certain. I would like to have some questions to you all. So, are you ready, guys? More. I can't hear you. Bit louder. Yes, that's good. And yes, you have to keep this smile throughout the class. Fine? Okay. So I have certain questions. The questions are, what will happen if there had no rules in your schools? Imagine something. What could happen if there are no rules in the school? Okay, correct. First is, children could come to school whenever they want. Yes. Second is, teachers could hold the classes whenever they want. On some days, there would be no short recess. There would be no break. Why? Because someone forget to ring the bell. Right? Yes. On some days, school could run late till late evening because there is no rules. So, in this case, do you feel the school will run proper? Why? So I'll tell you why. Just as a school or our home, everywhere, if we want to be in discipline, we need to follow certain rules. In the same way, our country needs rules too. Our country also needs the rules. So, and these rules we called it as a law. Okay. So we will know about where these rules are mentioned, where these rules are written, which a country has to follow. Okay. Yes. So you are correct. Today we are going to start a topic, that is constitution. So student, this is our topic today which we are going to start, that is constitution. So I think you might have got some idea that what is constitution. Yes, constitution in the simple word you can say is a book of rules. Yes, you can say it is a book of rules. And even you can say that constitution is a set of documents which lays down the basic principle that a state or a country is governed by. And this constitution, it was formed on 26th November 1946 and it came into effect. It was formed on this date, but it came into effect means people came to know about it on 26th January 1950. Okay, and that's why we celebrate 26th January 1950 as our Republic Day. Since then, the Republic Day is celebrated every year to mark the adaptation of the Indian Constitution. Okay, 26th January, we celebrate this day. So this is the introduction part, introduction about the Constitution. Okay, so in democracy, what do you mean by democracy? Democracy, India is a democratic country, India is a democratic country. Why India is a democratic country? Because we have the rights to elect our own government with the help of the vote. Okay, and democracy, even in the simple words, you can say that democracy is for the people, of the people, and by the people. Understood? Let's move forward. Yeah. So in democracy, a constitution, in democracy, constitution describes the system of voting and how rules or laws have been made. It describes the role of the leaders and the governments. Now, if I say the leaders, you might be thinking leaders like whom? Like chief ministers, president, prime minister, their works are described in this constitution. It also contains the role of the citizen of a country. And the constitution, this constitution is the supreme law of our land. All the laws which are made by the government must be according to the constitution. Whatever rules our government is making, that should be according to this constitution. So the Indian constitution is, and one more fact, that this Indian constitution is the longest written. This Indian Constitution is the longest written constitution in the world. Our constitution provides every citizen some basic rights and duties. These are called fundamental rights and fundamental duties. So these rights are for well-being of the citizens. So let us see now the 6 fundamental rights. You can see here as it is mentioned here, 6 fundamental rights. The first one is right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational right, right to constitutional remedies. These are the 6 fundamental rights which every citizen has to follow. It is our right. Okay, so let us know about some of them. If we talk about right to equality, okay, the name itself is clear. Equality, we should be treated equal. So right to equality means that all the citizens, right to equality means that all the citizens are equal before the law. In front of law, all the citizens are equal. All citizens are treated equally irrespective to their caste, gender, religion or place of birth. Okay? However, an exception has been made for some weaker sections of the society. For example, some seats are reserved for the sections in the schools, for these sections in the schools, colleges and government offices, and these are, you might have heard that these seats are reserved for them. This is just to uplift them. This is nothing but to uplift them. Next is our right to freedom. It refers to right to freedom of speech and expression. It means that everybody has the right to express their thoughts freely. Okay, you can express whatever you feel very freely. It also gives Indian citizens the following freedom. This right also provides some more freedom to the Indian people. That is, to practice any profession. According to this right, we all are free to practice any profession. You can become whatever you want. To move about freely in India. You can move freely in any part of the India. To live and settle in any part of India. Even you are free to live and settle in any part of India according to this rule. However, the right to freedom does not mean that we can break laws, but this does not mean that we are allowed to break the laws and do whatever we want. We have to see that also, that we are not breaking the laws. Okay, next comes our right to against exploitation. First of all, do you know the meaning of exploitation here? What do you mean by exploitation? Yeah, so I was talking about the exploitation. Exploitation means to treat someone unfairly, especially making people work for no money or very little money. Means if someone is working hard and they are being paid less, or they are not paid at all, they are just working, that is exploitation. So in our constitution we have the right to this also, that right against exploitation. That is, no child below the age of 14 years should be employed in any place that may be dangerous to the health. No one can force people to work without payment or for very little payment. If you feel that you are working and according to that you are not being paid, you can raise your voice against that. Okay, so clear about the exploitation? Once again I'll repeat, exploitation means to treat someone unfairly, especially making people work without money or very less money. Fine. Second very important point, no child below the age of 14 years should be employed in any place that may be dangerous for them to the health, and no one can force people to work without payment or for very less payment. So our fourth right is right to freedom of religion. Yes, right to freedom of religion. Citizens are free to follow any religions. Yes, as a citizen, you are free to follow any religions that they want or they wish to follow. They are also free to talk about their religion. Yes, we are also free to talk about the religion, any religion. Cultural and educational rights in India, people follow different religions. The next comes are cultural and educational rights. So cultural and educational rights in India, here people, they follow different religions. They speak different languages, they live in the different areas. It is very true. If you go to any place, you will find that there are people, you will find that it's if it's Kerala, it's not like that that only the Keralian people will be there. You will find the people speaking in Kerala only. No, it's not like that. You will find the people everywhere, they are speaking different languages, they are following different traditions. So it is important that everyone has the right to follow their own traditions, celebrate their own festivals, and speak the language they want. It is their choice. Okay. So in other words, people have the rights to follow and protect their culture. Yeah. So let's come to the last point, that is right to constitutional remedies. So this right allows citizen to go to court if any of the other fundamental right, the other five which we read, the rights. So inside the sixth right, you are allowed, the citizens, this right allows the citizens to go to court if any of the other fundamental rights are being taken away in any of the manner, then you can go to the court. Clear? So these are the 6 fundamental rights which we have as a citizen of India. So in the same way, we have certain duties also. Okay, as a citizen of India, there are certain duties also. So we will read about that duties in the next class. Till then, you have to recap what we have learned today, because I am going to ask these questions related to that in the next class. Before that, after that only we will move to the next topic. So I'll just recap once. Let's have a summary what we did today. So I told you about the Constitution. Then when it was formed on 26 November 1946. It came into effect on 26 January 1950. We celebrate this day every year as Republic Day. Then I told about the Constitution. Constitution is the set of the document which lays down the basic principle that a state or a country is governed by. You can, in the simple words, you can also say that Constitution is a set of rules, is a book of rules. Then I told you about the 6 fundamental rights. The first one is right to equality, where every citizen is treated equal. Your right to freedom, here you have the freedom to follow any profession, to move anywhere in the India, and you can speak freely, you can express your thoughts freely. Right against exploitation, if exploitation meaning, I told you, when someone is treated unfairly, and especially when someone is asked to work without money or very less money. So if you feel that you are not paid according to your work, you can raise your voice there. The fourth one is right to freedom of religion, means you are free to follow any religion. Next is cultural and educational right, and the last one is right to constitutional remedies. And as I told you that all the 5 rights, if in any of the manner it is being taken away from you, according to this right, you can go to the court. You have the right to go to the court regarding that. So that's all for the class. As I told you, have to recap what I have told you, because in the next class, first I will ask you the questions related to the topic which I taught today. Then we will move with the next topic, that is right to some of our fundamental duties. So till then, take care. Bye bye.